Don't ask me to talk.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Join me, Stacey Heller,
And me, Eric Ryder.
as we talk about what's good to watch, read, see, listen to, and more.
An edutaining 1-hour break in your day that includes the segment, What Are We Eating? Sponsored by Dingfelder's Delicatessen.
Stick with us for something good. Hello and welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I am your host, Stacey Heller. Eric?
Hey, I'm Eric Ryder. Yeah, it feels weird for me to chime in.
I know.
so quickly.
You're normally behind the board. So,
Yes.
An introduction to us. So, I have another show that is on KKNW called
That's right.
Stacey Connects.
Our sister station, 11:50 a.m.
Yep. Thank you for that. And that show is where Eric and I met. And I think it was skepticism at first sight. Maybe for you.
No.
I know. I'm always self-deprecating about this.
Because you had been on one of the other shows as a guest a couple times, and I thought, that lady can talk.
Well, yes, that's 100% true. And actually, the show that I was a guest on was a show that was by Stacey Harris and Dave Nelson.
That's right.
And
The Efficient Life.
The Efficient Life. It no longer airs. It was a great show that talked about, a whole bunch of different things that matter in your life. And I came on as part of the Michael Bruce Image Consulting team, whom I worked for at the time. And then they needed a sub. And they, too, found someone that they felt could talk a lot.
And you still work with Michael Bruce Image Consulting, right? Because you're one of the co-hosts on their show called Wisdom from the Wardrobe.
This is true.
Which you can find as a podcast or tune in on 11:50 a.m.
Exactly. So there is a lot of places that I like to talk. And
yes.
In fact, the part of the intro where it's, don't ask me to talk is from recording something else. And it's something happened to me when I got behind a microphone. And, I was like, don't ask me to talk.
Being facetious,
Being
of course.
facetious.
You like to talk.
I love to talk. There was a sketch on SNL that Kristen Wiig did. And
Right.
she would do this thing, don't ask me to sing. And that's kind of where that came from. And so that's where all of this started. That's where Eric and I met. Eric is the program engineer. And what is your official title?
I'm the operations manager for both KKNW and for KIXI. And I'm producer for many of different talk programs on both stations.
I never knew your title. It's like, what does your dad do? I don't know. He goes to work every day.
Well, it's there in the part of the email that nobody reads down to.
Oh, right.
The signature.
Right. There is that. So anyway, Eric has become a quintessential part of the Stacey Connects show. For people that are not familiar with that show, on that show, it's really more of an interview format. I bring guests on the show. Some of them are maybe promoting something, or they have a message or a mission to share. And ultimately, I want to create a connection through conversation and believe that everyone has a story to tell. I love to befriend the elephant in any room, and I wholeheartedly believe that it is so much better to ask questions than it is. That was my computer, by the way. I will silence it. It's so much better to ask questions than make assumptions. And so that's the premise of that show. And so on that show that Eric is the producer of, my mother, Joan, calls in almost weekly. And it's no longer to converse with me or to say something to me. It is strictly to talk with Eric.
She's a contributor at this point.
She really is. Yeah. And in fact, after this week's show, when I was speaking with her and her friends, Lee and Diane, they were saying that they want to have a show sort of like kind of like Golden Girls, but I would also say that it's like, the real ladies of Penswood. I said old ladies and they took offense, but because it's unscripted.
Right.
So, yeah, they are. We'll see if they start calling in for this one too.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
That'll be fun.
I think my mom will follow you anywhere, Eric.
Oh,
It's true. I really think she likes you better than me. So,
well, she's a sweetheart.
Sure. We'll agree. So
I get the feeling it's like my relationship with my mom. You know, it's like if you grew up with her, then you have a different maybe feeling than
yes,
if you just know her from, you know, being a friend of the family or whatever.
Exactly.
You know, it's like mom has a different attitude maybe towards outsiders than she does to the immediate family.
100%. And
that being said, I love my mother, and I know you love yours as well.
I adore my mother, and I have really come to appreciate her. And additionally, I have come to realize how much I am like her. I feel like it's this inevitable sliding into like this spot where I find myself doing or saying things that have definitive echoes of my mother. So, yeah, it happens. Anyway, so that's how we met. That's my other show that I do on, as Eric said, our sister station, KKNW. And
or podcasts wherever you find them.
That's right. Thank you for that reminder. You can find this show.
And just because we wanted to make it as confusing as possible, that show used to be called what this show is now called, Don't Ask Me to Talk. So,
right.
But now you can find it as a podcast as Stacy Connects. So when you're searching on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, I think is what it's called now, or Google Play or any of the podcast providers out there, look for Stacy Connects.
Yeah.
But if you see like old episodes that say, Don't Ask Me to Talk, don't be confused.
Don't be confused.
Yes.
It's all good. I mean, really just listen to all of it.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
if
really,
you like this show, you'll probably like that show and vice versa.
I mean, really, it's about liking me. And I have joked that one of the reasons that I talk so much is because my mother didn't listen to me as a child. And so this is my therapy. Instead of talking to a therapist, I am talking to all of you right now. Right? I mean, why not? So the premise of this show, how is this different than the other show, Stacy Connects? And when I was thinking about what I would want to listen to, and I was kind of pitching this to Eric. I feel like the conversations that have taken place over the past couple of years have been fairly heavy with politics and inflation and Putin and a pandemic and, you know, all of these things. And it just feels like the things that we consume in terms of information, whether it be entertaining or whether it be news, are so heavy. And, you know, so that word edutaining that you say in our intro, that, you know,
you made me say that.
I
by the
did.
way.
and you sound like you're like, ugh, this is not a word. Did you ever read the book Frindle?
No.
There is a book out there. It's a book probably for middle schoolers. I think the author is Andrew Clements, and it's a book called Frindle about a boy who decides that why can't he just decide to call a pencil something other than a pencil? And it becomes this whole fight of wills between him and his teacher. And it's actually a really great book. And why not make up a word? Edutaining. It's educational and it's entertaining.
I think other people have coined that phrase before, but yeah, it totally fits the bill.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, so because of that, and because of the fact that everything is it's just been heavy. Like, what are we talking about at the proverbial water cooler, you know, at home when we're getting water and our spouse who may also be working from home is getting water, or the kids who for a while there were going to school from home? You know, what are those conversations when we're not talking about the heavy stuff? What is happening now at the bus stop? What's happening when you go out on a date with your girlfriends or your significant other or whatever it is, when we're not talking about the stuff that is real and important? what are we talking about? What is good? And so that is the focus of this show. What is good? And, I talk about from the sublime to the ridiculous because it may be ridiculous, but that is good. That's good stuff. All those YouTube puppy videos, that's good stuff. He's like, no, I don't think so.
No, I get what you're saying for sure. I mean, you need an outlet, something that's not so heavy, as you say, a distraction every now and again.
Right. This is like
every Thursday at 3, for instance.
Like every Thursday at 3. So today I said, and I'm not sure that this is a good thing or a bad thing, I said, I want this to be like hit and run happiness. Like, it's unexpected, and it's like it hits you unexpectedly, and it brings you happiness. So, it reminds me of the Seattle Times, and they may still have, I don't even know if the Seattle Times still prints. They must still print. They used to have a section that was rant and rave, where people would send
Is that like cheers and jeers?
Kind of.
Yeah.
And it was, hooray to the person that allowed me to, return or put my cart away for me at the grocery store when it was pouring rain. So I want this show to be like the, tears and jeers, or cheers and jeers. Yeah.
Cheers and jeers.
Thank you.
Yes.
Or rant and rave, but the good stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I bet with their submissions, it's like 98% rant and like 2% rave.
Right.
But they probably balanced it out so it wouldn't come off too negative.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's some statistic out there that says I don't remember what the exact number is. I'm sure I could look it up. There is a huge difference between the percentage of people that talk about a negative experience over the people that talk about a positive experience. And it's fascinating to me that, we are apparently a negative species.
Yeah. There's something to that.
I don't know. I feel like putting things that are good out into the world and, not making assumptions about people's intent, it makes for a much happier existence. I mean, not naive.
Right.
I'm not talking about being clueless about what's going on in the world or, not recognizing nuance or whatever.
Yeah, you're just talking about taking a short break from that,
Right.
every now and again so you can breathe.
Exactly. And not being so loaded for bear. Like, I mean, you should be like Yogi Bear and have a picnic basket. Who doesn't love a picnic? Now, if you have a question, or maybe you have a comment, or maybe you want to share what's good, you can contact me through my website. And the website is stacyconnects.com. Send me a note.
Easy peasy.
Right? And I would love to share stories because I am not the only curator of what's good. And we are going to talk about all of it. In fact, one of the things that we're going to do each week is we're going to talk about a specific topic. Now, thanks to the miracle of modern technology, I was given access to this Wheel of Names app. I don't know. Is it an application if it's on a website?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Application just means program. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's running a program for you on the website.
Okay. So Wheel of Names. And we put in topics to talk about, with the idea being that at the end of each show, we will choose what it is we're going to talk about the next week so that you and I have some time to think about it, collect stories. Maybe people want to contact us with their own thoughts, comments, questions, stories, etc., right? So we will do that at the end of each show. Now, today's topic happens to be movies.
Right.
Which it is a total coincidence that the Thursday after the Oscars aired that we picked movies.
Yes, because we actually picked the theme last week, and again, we picked it randomly.
We did.
Yeah.
With
It's just the spinning wheel.
The spinning wheel. I think that, what do you think about my spinning wheels that I've made? I have a whole bevy of them.
I think it's kind of fun.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's got like the noises and the confetti. I did try to reduce the amount of time that it has to spin because I'm like, all right, I've learned that 2 seconds on air is like a lifetime.
Mm.
So movies. And I will say that in the future, we might have to break it down even further to discuss, like, are we going to talk about like classic literature, or are we going to talk about bestsellers or bands? Like, you are such a music person. And so it could be classics, it could be old music, it could be new music. I mean, these are the spaces where I may end up feeling my age. I'm like, is it Billy Joel?
Well, nothing wrong with that. I mean, of course, KIXI is home of, the greatest music of all time. So,
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love that. And there's also other music out there that, people remember, and it's kind of fun to bring it up. And I've pulled some music out of my past, and you're like, oh, yeah, I know the Dead Milkmen.
Of course.
Right? Well, you say of course. I don't think everybody would say of course.
Well, those of us of a certain age would know it.
Right. So anyway, the idea is we'll pick this topic, and at times it may be the classics. It may be something new that we've discovered. And then there's also social media. There's so many different social media platforms that I even made a little spinny wheel for, okay, we landed on social media. Which one do we want to talk about? And there are, I mean, it's ridiculous, the number of platforms. And to be completely honest, the platforms that I'm on are limited compared to younger folk out there. There is some interesting stuff out there that might be fun to explore. And this is not only an opportunity to share what's good, it's an opportunity to learn about what's good. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, the other thing that
sounds edutaining.
It is edutaining. Thank you. Okay. So I'm vamping here. Because the other part of this show that we're going to be doing weekly is we have a sponsor. And the sponsor is Dingfelder's Delicatessen. They are in Capitol Hill in Seattle. And each week, we are going to be talking with the owner, Vance Dingfelder. And he is going to let us know, what are we eating this week? And I am excited. I'm a huge fan of Dingfelder's Delicatessen. It is a classic Jewish delicatessen.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's so amazing. And he, like me, is a native New Yorker. And so we hit it off when we met across the event that he was catering. And I was like, oh, a kindred spirit. He talks fast. He understands that pizza should be folded in half and have a little clear grease dripping off. I know you haven't ever had that kind of pizza, Eric.
Well, I'm here to represent the West Coast. So.
Sure.
And I have had that kind of pizza.
And it's far superior.
Well, that's the New York attitude. But if I'm honest, even though raised on the West Coast, I think Chicago-style pizza is the best pizza you can get. But that's maybe for another show, because that's a whole topic right there. That could fill a whole show for sure.
That 100% could fill a whole topic, because I'm like, can't believe you just went there. And that's fair if you would like to be wrong. But remember, we're being positive and good here.
That's right.
It's going to be harder than I thought. Trying to be all good all the time. Anyway, so each show we'll be talking to Vance, and he's also the owner of Nourish Catering. So in addition to the Jewish delicatessen that he serves, he also can do it all. His cold poached salmon is the finest poached salmon I have ever had, and it's beautiful. So we're going to do that in a few minutes. And then we have some other random things. Like, I want to be able to share with people fun little random things that you can share with your kids or your coworkers things where they maybe look at you like, what did you just share with me? Fun things like, did you know that it takes 6 minutes to make a marshmallow peep?
I did not know that.
Doesn't that seem like a long time?
That definitely seems like a long time.
I
Is that why they only come out at Easter? Because it takes them all year to
I don't
make the whole
know.
batch?
But that's a long time. I'm just envisioning that it's the little machine that makes the squiggle shape.
Yeah.
And then it's sticky. You throw that.
Probably just has to sit for 6 minutes after it gets extruded.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you remember, maybe you're younger than me, so I don't know if you will remember, on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood when he would take the trolley to the land of make-believe.
Sure.
And occasionally there would be...
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh, yes, you do remember. And then whatever her name was, the cranky lady with the rosy cheeks.
Right.
Yeah. Who I'm like, interesting. I have thoughts on that. Anyway, they would occasionally go with the mailman, I think, or something on these adventures to see how things were made. Like they once went to the Crayola factory, which is ironic because, again, did you know that today, Thursday, March 31st, is National Crayon Day?
I did not know that.
It is. Now, that doesn't mean that it's Crayola. It just means crayon. And
what do crowns and peeps have in common?
they're waxy.
Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of wax in both.
There you go. Look at that. Well, I was looking up things that there's a lot of holidays. There's a lot of national holidays. Like it's also National Farm Workers Appreciation Day, which struck me because as an avid fan of picking fruit and vegetables and, the whole raspberry picking and peach picking and apple picking and all of that, I have always said that in my past life, I'm convinced that I was a farm hand because I don't have that, isn't the weather nice? Isn't this enjoyable? Let's just pick and go. I'm like, pick more. And so the kids no longer like to go with me. So that one struck me. It's also National Tater Day, not tater tots, but potato.
All right.
I thought that was interesting. And then the other day that it is today is, just because it shouldn't just be about the United States, it is World Backup Day. Not backup singer, not like backup like boop, boop. It is back up your computer.
Oh, okay.
Now, do you still have to do that? Doesn't it just automatically back up?
I guess it depends what system you're using, but it never hurts to have a easy to access backup of your most important files, I would think.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing. I'm like, I wonder how dated that is. And then my joke of the day before we give Vance a call is...
I mean, people companies are still getting locked out of all their important
that
data with like malware and stuff like that, So, I mean, it's something that people should think about for sure.
So look at us. We are already putting good into the world. So here is your PSA. Remember to back up your computer today on what is World Backup Day.
Right.
You're welcome. And the joke that is for today, I don't know who makes these decisions. They seem arbitrary. It is, what size soap do judges use?
What size soap
yeah.
do judges use?
Mm-hmm.
This is no doubt a pun, and so I'm not sure, but I'll say large.
That would be trial size.
Trial size.
Perfect.
There
it is.
Thank you.
All right. So let's call up that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Share that with your friends, your colleagues.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll go far. And your attorneys. Let's give Vance a call and let's find out what we're eating today.
Beautiful.
And then after we hear from Vance, we'll take a little break and then we'll finally talk about our topic today, which is movies.
Awesome.
All right, so let's give him a ringy dingy and see if he answers. Don't ask me to talk. Stacy Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture, or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then, I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to stacyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging. Welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I am Stacey Heller. I am joined by
Vance Dingfelder.
There he is. Okay, and
Dingfelder's Delicatessen.
there we go. So,
Hi, Stacey.
hi.
How are you?
I am doing well. I am introducing
ahead.
people to the show today and am
Mm-hmm.
telling them how this is supposed to be a touch point of goodness, and therefore it makes total sense that you are a sponsor of the show to talk about good food.
You know, you're a sweetheart for saying that, and everything you touch is goodness. I just have to say, you know.
Aw,
I'm a raving fan.
thank you. Thank you very much. So,
And it's an honor to sponsor the show, I have to say.
well, I like to associate with things that are edutaining, and I will say that the food that is that you offer both through Dingfelder's and Nourish, it is delicious. If you're not familiar with Jewish delicatessen, then it's going to be educational, and you're an entertaining guy. So tell us, what are we eating?
You know, this is going to be hysterical because I thought about this, and you know, I could do any number of items, whether it be pastrami, corned beef, brisket,
Yes,
right,
please.
turkey, chickens, right? I mean, just look at. I mean, if you want to look at something fun, just go to dingfelders.com and watch the pastrami being sliced.
Oh my gosh.
And being a New York Jewish delicatessen, what we're eating tonight is ribs.
Really?
Baby back ribs, or treif, as some other people might call it. Yes. The weather, the change of the weather made me think of ribs. And, you know, I do beef ribs all the time, and I just had a hankering for some baby back ribs. And that might be, you know, from my, I love barbecue, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I want to get my smoker going.
Please get your smoker going. Now,
So,
is
go ahead.
this going to be then? Do you have seasonal items, or is this like
No,
on a
I'm not
whim?
this is a whim. I was okay. So truth be told, I was, you know, picking up some supplies,
Yep.
and I just noticed the baby back ribs were on sale. Like,
Hey.
you know, I haven't had ribs in a long time, baby back ribs, and I thought it would be a good idea to do that. And when I was thinking about the show, I thought to myself, you know, why not? Why not do baby back ribs for the first segment?
Yeah. I mean, it's Thursday is
You
a
know?
perfect night for ribs, and so is
mean-
Friday and Saturday and Sunday.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, at the end, you know, I mean, you could do ribs in your oven. I mean, they're so easy to do, right? I mean, I like to, you know, I like to put maple syrup and mustard on them and then season them
Really?
and then smoke them. Yeah, I put maple syrup and mustard. It's a Carolina thing, you know, just something that's going to hold the spices, right? So, you know, a little bit better and kind of add another layer of flavor to it. Yeah, I you know, even when I do, this is another thing. I mean, with Nourish, I've done a whole pig, and I brined it, and then, you know, so the mustard, I like the mustard because it adds a little bit of tang, and then your spice profile can be anything really. I mean, it's barbecue seasoning. I mean, you can use chili powder. I mean, to be really easy, use chili powder, right?
So, do you
and
do
salt and
like
pepper.
you talk about the layers of flavor. So do you do
Mhm.
like a dry rub and then like where do you?
Well, okay, so I do them several different ways, right? You can brine them.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing to do. Okay, you can brine it for 3 or 4 hours, and then pat it dry. Put some, put anything you want on it, and then put your seasonings.
Okay.
Dry rub is just seasonings and letting it, permeate for 12 hours
Okay.
in the refrigerator.
Okay.
So I like to add the maple syrup because it's sweet, and then the Dijon mustard because it gives a little tang, and then I use my seasonings. And typically, I have in my cupboard three different barbecue seasonings that I make, and they're all from different. One is like a Kansas City style, another one is a Carolina style, and then the other one is really a Northwest kind of, just really anything. And
Now,
but there's basics to it. There's, you need sugar, and that's the maple syrup.
Okay.
You need
Eric has
salt.
a question here.
well, I was just wondering what makes the sauce Northwest, because we briefly touched on the pizza wars earlier of Chicago
Yes.
versus New York,
Yes.
but the
Chicago,
sauce
New York.
wars is something big too. I mean, South Carolina and Texas,
Kansas,
and they're smoking Kansas City. There's all these different kinds of barbecue, but I don't think I've ever heard of a Northwest type of barbecue. What makes it that?
Passive aggressive.
Well,
It's still frozen.
That's funny. So
Hey, I'm a New Yorker.
you do crab boil. You put some Old Bay in it. It's like the little celery seed, a little, and that'll really that Northwests it up.
Okay.
Do you think if you think marjoram is a seafood? I mean, a seafood seasoning. And when I say Northwest, I'm here 30 years, so we're pretty. We take a collection of everything especially when it comes to barbecue. The sauce that we make here is pretty much a tomato-based molasses kind of sauce, and you can start with ketchup and add a little molasses, and then throw in some garlic, onion, and jalapeno pepper, or you could just mix bullseye and Sweet Baby Ray's, and that's another sauce that isn't horrible at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that everybody here has their favorites. And when I think regionally, right, Carolina barbecue is really good, and I like the vinegar in Carolina barbecue.
Yep.
And I do a sauce that just is. I take like an olive oil bottle and put a bunch of peppers and garlic and a sprig of rosemary and thyme.
So you're infusing it.
So I season the vinegar, and then apple cider vinegar with a little maple syrup, and that is my barbecue sauce. It's really good on a good seasoned piece of pork, right? So I do like some tomato, and I like to get it so that it caramelizes a little bit. So I'll do dry rub with the maple syrup and the mustard, smoke it for a few hours. But once you get into the smoking, you smoke it at like 195 degrees for about 6 or 7 hours, and then you wrap it in foil and let it go for a little bit longer. You can just do it in your oven, okay, with your barbecue seasoning. I'm not a fan of liquid smoke. It's too fake. You can taste it. It leaves stuff in your mouth. But if you season it and you don't need the smokiness for your ribs and you're okay with that, you can get them. You can do them in 2.5 hours, and they'll fall off the bone.
Okay. What if I don't want to do any of that? What if I want you to do all of this?
Okay, if you want me to do that, okay, I would love to say you could come down to Dingfelder's, but we're not eating Dingfelder's tonight. And Nourish, I do it for Nourish all the time.
Yeah.
Right. I do barbecue with Nourish. You've had my barbecue.
Yes,
from
I
Nourish,
have.
And Nourish Catering is my catering business, and we've done Nourish 8 years now.
Yeah.
It's really wild how long it just flew by, how that started. But that's how you would get them. Or there's barbecue places around town, a couple.
Yep.
There's some that are really good, and you can do that, but if it's so easy just to throw them in the oven. Or how about this, Stace?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have an Instapot? You got an Instapot?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
Wait, so Instapot like crock pot or Instapot like one of those?
No, an Instapot. You could, I don't know how many you're going to fit in there, but you'll probably get one rack at
Okay.
least into an Instapot and do what I just said. Put them in your Instapot and then throw them in the broiler when you get home and crisp them up.
Interesting. Okay, people are going to have to go back and listen to this show now in the podcast form so that they can hear all of the suggestions that you made in terms of flavor profiles and ideas. So remember, you can find this where you find podcasts, and you'll be able to go back and listen to these ideas because they're all such good ideas. I think mine is the best, which is we just go to you.
The best. We know that, Stace.
Well, I'm lazy. I just want to
For
have
the most part.
I just want to have you make it.
You just want me to deliver it.
Service with a smile.
Hey, that's another thing. We're going to start partnering with DoorDash.
Ooh.
And they're going to have a 10-mile radius from the delicatessen.
Okay.
So that's exciting. That's really exciting.
That's really exciting. I'm going to have to move
I'm
closer.
very excited. And right now we're getting ready for Passover, and that's really the big thing that's happening right now.
Right.
And, that's big time.
And are you still taking orders for that, or are you full?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll take orders. We'll take online. Yeah, our online Passover menu. People are. Yeah, it's already. We went live. I want to say it was Saturday, and people have been. Yeah, it's Passover is a big deal. It's a wonderful holiday, and
what's in that Passover menu? For those of us that are not the chosen ones.
So I'll tell you one thing. Matzah roka.
Oh, stop.
Is on. Okay, so matzah roka is a family favorite. Besides the brisket.
Is that anything like almond roka?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is like almond roka. In fact,
it's like kosher crack.
It's crack. It's really crack. Okay. It's so ridiculous. It's you make a toffee. And you put matzah in a sheet pan.
Uh-huh.
You make a toffee, and then you pour the toffee over the matzah. And then you put chocolate on top of the toffee. And the heat from the toffee melts the chocolate. And you spread it. And what I like to do is put a little of my favorite salt, just a sprinkle, on top. And then you cover it with sliced almonds. And you put it in the fridge, and then you break it up, and you eat it. For some reason,
it's ridiculous.
It calls you.
It doesn't call you; it stalks you.
I'll tell you.
Sounds good.
We do. Our horseradish, okay, is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Take your breath. It takes your breath away. So we do fresh horseradish and my zero carb gravies for the brisket. And everything's kosher for Passover. So, we do potato kugel and haroset. People, it's so funny. Farah, our chef,
Mm-hmm.
Her haroset is world famous. People from New York call and want it shipped to them. They've had it at families here, and I've had people call me, can you make, okay, so Passover's now? They've called us in November and said, do you think you could make us some of your haroset? What is going on? It's pretty ridiculous. So, Passover.
All right.
One of my favorite holidays,
So
Jews being freed.
Well, it's right up there.
Yes, it is.
So
okay, so here's another thing that we're doing that's really huge, Stace. And for a moment, the Jewish Federation of Seattle is taking donations for Ukraine.
Nice.
So what we decided as a team is we're going to chip in.
Mm-hmm.
The staff wanted to do something, and we were coming up with different things to do, and to do something for Ukraine. So for the month of April, we're going to take, the staff is going to take 5% of their gratuities and donate them, and we're going to match it.
Wow.
So we'll get 10%, which it should be a pretty decent number that we can donate. But I would, if anybody out there thinks about it or wants to do something to help with the Ukrainian refugees and feeding them,
Yep,
or clothing them, this is, the Jewish Federation is a place that you can know that 100% of the proceeds are going to go to helping them, and it's a pretty good cause, and they're matching every dollar for dollar.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out.
No, I think that's an amazing thing, and we'll talk about it throughout the month of April. And it's, you're the people that work at the deli and, your servers through Nourish, tips really round out their pay. So for them to be offering a portion of their pay that's monumental. And to have that
it's
amount.
It's actually a big deal. I mean, they're food service employees, and they work hard.
Really hard.
And, and through the pandemic, they've the crew has been incredible. I'm so grateful to have such an incredible staff and team that really take a lot of pride in nourishing people. At the end of the day, it's about community and feeding people, and that's something that's near and dear to my heart. Is how we feed each other.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. Well, I could continue talking with you, as you know.
You want a bagel?
Oh, stop. Stop. I'm going to have to hang up on you because it's ridiculous. Well,
so funny.
Thank you, Vance. Thank you for answering the phone and sharing what is good with us. And
I will.
I'll talk to you before next week. However,
Oh,
listeners get to hear more next week from Vance Dingfelder of Dingfelder's Delicatessen. Vance, let them know, where can they find the Passover menu?
Thank you, Stace. You can go to www.dingfelders.com and go straight to our website. If you go through Google, you go to the business's website, and how you'll know you're at our website, you'll see the pastrami being carved.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on online takeout, you place your order. The first thing that's going to come up is the Passover menu. If you just want to view the Passover menu, if you click on menus, it'll come up. But if you want to place an order, you select that you want to pick it up. We're taking orders for pickup from April 14th at 11 a.m. on through Passover, April 22nd.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you, Vance. We will talk about what we're eating again with you next week.
Thank you, Stacy, for the time. I appreciate you. God bless, and hopefully help some people out.
Absolutely. Thanks. Have a good week.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. That was exciting.
That was exciting. I really want ribs now.
And I really want him to make the ribs for me because I'm like, that seems like a lot of work.
I hear that. Yeah.
His food.
You got to have patience with those. That's the hard part.
You have to plan in advance, and at that
they
point,
smell so good for cooking for 2.5 hours.
Right?
You're like, please, just finish already.
It's.
But you need patience.
You do need patience,
yeah.
And I do not have patience.
Same.
Yeah. So but he does an amazing job, and what I love is his passion for food, and not just obviously as a sponsor promoting Dingfelders and Nourish. But he has such an appreciation for food in general. When we talked about him being a sponsor of the show, he's like, can I just talk about food? Do I have to necessarily promote the business? And I was like, no, which I love. It's something good, right?
Yeah, but you got to promote Dingfelders because it's amazing.
Well, and the cheesecake. Did you have the cheesecake?
I don't remember. I do remember having the sandwich. The pastrami was to die for.
Mm-hmm, totally. So, okay. Do you want to take a quick break?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's take a quick break, and then we're finally going to talk about the topic of the day, which is movies. All right. Keep listening to Don't Ask Me to Talk with Stacey Heller and Eric Ryder. Stacey Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture, or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then, I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to staceyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging. Welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk with Stacey Heller and Eric Ryder. So,
I'm sorry, I'm still salivating.
I know.
Thinking about what Vance Dingfelder was talking about with the ribs and the Passover menu and everything.
Right?
And he's like, go to the website if you want to see the pastrami being cut. And I did that, and now I got a problem because I'm starving.
Right. I know. Yeah. So, well, and I knew that the first week of the show, it's going to be like, we've got to get our bearings. So we should probably do the thing we said we were going to do, which is talk about movies.
Yes.
So, because
I like them, you like them.
Done. You can have popcorn.
There's some good ones out there, some bad ones out there.
There are. So, what movie have you seen recently? It doesn't matter whether it was an Oscar contender. Let's just real talk. What have you seen?
Well, the last movie I watched was The Batman. I saw that in the theater. I enjoyed it, but it's long. It's nearly 3 hours long. So, I kind of miss. I say I kind of miss it. It didn't really exist in my lifetime, but I like the concept of the. What do they call it when you take a break?
An intermission?
An intermission.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. This movie could have benefited from an intermission because I'm sitting there an hour and a half into it going, oh, I really need to run to the restroom, but I don't want to miss any of this because it's great. But
this is what my kids said. They were like,
I'm going to have to watch it again.
That's what they
see
said.
What I missed.
It's almost like you have to strategically plan your bathroom break.
Exactly.
And then go back a second time and don't go at the same time. So I heard that was good. And, I'm like, it's Robert Pattinson, right?
Yes.
And I'm so glad.
So I was skeptical because he's mostly known for the Twilight movies, which, granted, I am not the target audience for the Twilight movies, but they did seem kind of cheesy even for being young adult stuff.
Absolutely.
So I thought, I don't know about this guy, but he was great. He was great.
That's what I've heard.
He did a great job. The thing with the Batman stuff, I mean, aside from just disbelief in the whole idea of it.
It's comic books.
Yes, it's comic books. So if you're willing to accept superheroes and comic books and those things, then you're going to like it. If you can't get on board with that, then there's no way you're going to like it. But the one thing that always bugs me with the Batman stuff is, why does anybody live in Gotham?
It sounds hideous.
It's dark all the time. It's raining nonstop. It's full of corruption and villains and nutcases. And your best bet for not getting murdered is some dude in spandex jumping down and beating somebody to the pulp in front of you, and thereby, giving you PTSD for life. So,
wow, that is a hot take.
So I would, if it were me, I'd move to Metropolis in a heartbeat if I was
Which is
born in
Spider-Man
Gotham.
City, right?
No, that's Superman City.
Oh, right. Okay.
If we're going to be in the DC universe, I thought that
Okay, all right.
we should
See, I'm not like
we
I'm
should
not
go with their
as
towns. But really, even Metropolis, that Superman is taking care of that. And it just seems a lot less gritty if you've seen any of like the Superman movies. But any place other than Gotham City in the world seems like a better place to live.
And it does seem like a city that is fueled on psychedelics. Like the characters are like the Riddler,
Right.
and and Joker, and like my brother read the comic books. Like he was a big Superman fan, but also Batman, and I, of course, I grew up seeing the show with Adam West,
Right.
right? And so for me, I learned about onomatopoeia, like bam, pow, like. It was a great thing to learn. If you don't know, onomatopoeia is when the word sounds like what it means. Anyway, but the like penguin? I mean, isn't that like, doesn't it seem like it's a bad experiment? Like it's an experiment gone wrong in Gotham.
Yeah. Well, many of the super villains are created because of experiments gone wrong.
You do have a point there.
Literally. So, yeah. But it just get the heck out of Gotham, folks. Like, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but there's a part where Gotham starts flooding in this thing. I'm like, with all the stuff that they have to deal with, flooding too.
Well, and what could arguably be the worst part about that is that rats can swim.
Oh, boy.
Right? So, I mean, not only is it flooding, but the rats are going to be swimming around you.
There you go.
So you're welcome. Well.
So anyway, I recommend it. But again, you got to suspend disbelief to a certain amount to enjoy it. And you should also not get the big size soda when you go in. Get the small size soda. Or well, yes. Or just know that you're gonna miss some of it when you run to the restroom 2 hours in.
There you go. That's fair. Well, I did not see the Batman. My kids are all huge fans of DC, Marvel, like all the universes. And so they are all big fans. I just didn't have a chance to see it. I did watch Coda,
which won for Best Movie in the Oscars this year.
It did. And I felt like the homework that I did, I kind of love that we're doing this show, because the homework that I did is I was like, I'm going to watch a movie so that I have something to talk about, because I'm not much of a TV watcher or movie. I love going to the movies. However, with the pandemic, that had been curbed for a while. Yeah. And Coda was streaming, or is streaming on Apple, and it was phenomenal. I cried.
Excellent. And you know what? We've only got like 2 minutes left.
Okay.
In the show here.
So there you go. So
we definitely have to come back to this topic.
Oh, 100%. We knew that day one was going to be clunky. All right. So what are we going to talk about next week? Can you
let's find out.
Spin the wheel-o topics.
Wow.
That's like
and we're off to the races.
Medieval times.
That's right. Online shopping is what came up.
Oh, okay. So we get to talk about our favorite online shopping and the general idea of, do we do it? Where do we do it?
Right.
Is it worth it? Shop local, all of those things. So we'll talk about that next week.
Very good. And we'll spend more than 3 minutes on it.
Yes, promise. Really. And again, if you are interested in sharing something good with us, then you can contact me through my Stacy Connects website. It's Stacy@StacyConnects. That's my email. And thank you for listening to the premiere show. And we're out of time.
We are.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. And remember,
thanks, everybody.
Be good.